Welcome to day 2 of the Kickstart. The first thing I want to ask you is what is going well today? So if you're on the live, you're going to put it in the chat right now. What is the win today? Because we get really caught up in talking all about the misery, what we didn't do. You didn't finish your to-do list, which you know you're not going to do. And I want you to give me a win. So if you are here live, tell me what was a win today. It could have been just getting out of bed. Doesn't have to be something huge, but tell me the win. I want you to also post the stuff in the Facebook group if you are there. And if you find like if social is a problem for you, then of course don't do that. But I want you to post this in social as well. So what went well today? That's the first thing I want to know. Today, we are talking all about, we got digital detox, finding more time, and there's a 7 p.m. boot camp live after this class. It's a different Zoom link, okay? So if you do want to attend that. So we're going to dive right in. What's the win for today? I need to hear from every single person what the win is, okay? I really want to know that. And I also want to know what has been the biggest struggle. Before I dive right in, does anyone have any quick questions that maybe things weren't working out, you're confused? I answered a ton of emails and DMs today for lots and lots of people, like hundreds. I spent 8 hours in my inbox almost today. But if anything didn't get answered, and Denise knows how much I love me some admin work, I just love it. But I knew it was going to be like that. And I actually do really like hearing from you guys, but I'd rather send you back a voice note. That's what I'd rather do because I just find it's easier to talk and tell you. Okay, so some of the wins. Getting stuff organized for school tomorrow. Win, I went for a walk with the dog. I'm drinking more water. I had my lemon cayenne. Yes, you did. There's our little time going. Nice, Laura, had yes, my mom brought me ginger. Oh, Heather, that's so sweet. I got my to-do list done. Amazing, Denise. I went out for a 30-minute walk with my 3 kids. Come on, let's just, if you got to go with anywhere with 3 people, it is difficult. Make those people little people, and getting ready for the walk is more energy than walking itself. That is incredible. When I only had 1 coffee and the rest of the day lemon water. Yay! Amazing. Okay, what's the biggest struggle? Like there's something that you're struggling with that maybe, it doesn't quite work out, or you're kind of still scared, or you're on the fence, or you're hesitating. What is that struggle? I know there are struggles. So tell me what the struggles are. That's what I want to know. So give me some struggles here. And when we talk about finding more time, I want you to do me a favor right now and tell me what's a waste of time. What do you waste time on? Be honest in the chat. What do you waste time on? For me, it is 100% social media. And I don't really waste time, but I will find myself doing, like, I have a very strict routine. I go into my inbox, I do my posts, I schedule it, but then I get sucked down a rabbit hole because I'm like, look at that new recipe. Ooh, look at that vegan thing. Look at that organization. Where did she get that closet? And then I'm like, I have to be like, put down the crack pipe. Like, it's not even a joke. It's as addictive in our brain as drugs, because you know what it gives you? Distraction. And Jen said this last night with the social, it gives you a hit of dopamine. It gives you a hit of dopamine. That's why you do it. And dopamine is the happy hormone. It's like, yeah, look at that. I just found some things, and I'm never going to do the 500 recipes and organization. It's just, I ain't got time for that. So why am I wasting? So I have to go stop. So I have a whole system now. That is my waste of time. So what is yours? Social media, procrastinating, finding time. Social media is not bad. We just have to put strict deadlines and don't let other people's feeds suck you in and the algorithms suck you in. Stay where you're focused. Follow just the people that you enjoy, that your life is great. That's one of the things we're talking about in finding more time. Okay. So I had the lemon water. Who can see? I want to see your struggles. I don't see them listed. So Janet, excuse me. Wow. What is that hair? Good Lord. These people with short hair, you guys just pull it like, it's like, who's that sexy thing with the short hair? Andrea's wearing a mask. She must be somewhere. I swear I won't pass you anything through the screen, but I'm joking because she's somewhere else. Okay, I just did a huge social media purge. Good. So this is one of the things we're going to talk about in finding more time, because if you can figure out, so I don't see everybody's answer in here about what you waste time on. That's the first place we have to start. So I want you to write down what, which is, I like acronyms for everything. What. I'll say to my husband, that's such a what. He's like, what? And I'm like, it's a waste of time. Stop talking to me about it. Like, I just get very clear, or I'll say to my kids, whatever, what is a waste of time? But you don't fix the problem until you identify the problem. You know that, right? You first have to be honest and identify your problem. So let's talk about what the things we are doing wasting time on. So I want you to just, like we did last night on the little sheet, I want you to put down what is a waste of time for you. And it actually might be something that needs to get done, but that you no longer need to do. Could you delegate? Could you eliminate it? Like, you're like, no, I'm the only one that can cook. Like, I'll give you an example. Is my husband around? My husband's, he just said yes. Okay. So I'm going to give you a real honest Usually I'm like, everybody get out. So this is like, I'm actually sweating. Like, I feel like I'm sweating a little bit. So today I had a whole list of things to do. I'm extremely busy right now with things that I love doing. And I knew certain things had to go at a certain time. It was just one of those days or it wouldn't work. It was almost like school, right? I had to be like down to, the minutes. So I needed to have a workout. I wanted to do just a 30-minute, and not just a 30-minute, because usually I try to do an hour. For me, that's what I need for proper stuff. So, oh, he's walking away. He's not waiting for it. So I wanted to have a workout, and it was around 4:30. And I already planned what we were having for dinner. I'm usually the one that does it just because it's worked out that way. I'm a control freak. I love to cook, and my husband was always traveling. He's not anymore because of COVID. And I find myself delegating things, and I'm like, okay, so like the pasta's here and you can't do this and you can't do that. And, he's like, and I'm like, you have to brown the meat. He's like, I have to brown the turkey meat. Like, you don't eat it raw. It's like, oh my God, I'm treating him like a child, because that's a control thing for me, cooking and different things. But I knew I would waste my time, do it all right. But I found myself a little concerned during my workout, all these things. And I was like, like, how's this going to go? So that's a perfect example of having to delegate something when you can to someone else, or just like, maybe you're ordering food in, maybe you're buying a ready-made healthy meal. Like, if you don't have a husband, if you don't have kids and all those things, there's other things that you can do. So what can you delegate? What can you eliminate completely? And for those of us that have issues with control, we like things done a certain way, and we all do. My therapist says this all the time. Every person walking in the world is a control freak. I'm not sure why anyone says someone's a control freak. Every one of us likes control. Who does not like to be in control? Be honest in your life. Like, who likes to be in control? If I'm like, yeah, your life's just gonna be miserable, you want to be in control of stuff. So let's identify things that we can maybe delegate. So write that word down, because that one was really hard for me. This journey started for me in 2014 of really delegating stuff, even a little earlier, and what needs to be eliminated completely. So I want you to give that some thought today, because that is exactly how you find more time. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all spend it very differently. We're not comparing us to the stars and the people who have chefs and people who have all like nannies and all these things. Be very careful who you follow on social media. I unfollow everyone. Top fitness people, I do not follow them. Like, I am very selective with who I follow. People with filters and all these different, I'm like, bye-bye, see ya, swipe. I don't care what your content is. I like real, I like raw, relatable. And let's be honest, life is difficult, but we waste time on a lot of things. So that's how we find time. Okay, so if you have anything that jumps out in your head that maybe you are wasting time on, brainstorm it right now, just as we go along. Social media, are you like Are you going in and doing groceries when you could just online shop? Things might cost more. You can do Fortino's pickup. It's free. You can do Instacart. It costs money. I think I have some discount thing too for Fortino's. I always forget about this. If you want something, someone asked me this before, but how can you save time? You're wasting time on things, right? So how can we fix that? We want to solve that. We want to eliminate, or we want to delegate, or is it something you can automate? Like if you're a teacher, copy and paste, reply answers. Like, are there certain things in your life that you can automate? Quick replies in text, like make things personal, but there's ways that you can cut corners for things, okay? So I want you to figure out what you're wasting time on, and I want you to claim that time back, because for you spending 30 minutes on social, and social is everything. My kids don't have social media accounts because ever since they were small, I said no socials yet. My son's now 17. He's got a YouTube channel, not under his name. It's the first time he's the one on social. I know, I'm probably not the norm. Like all their friends tease them. They're like, give me your TikTok handle, give me your this. And my kids are like, I don't have it. Like, what is wrong with you? I've explained to them, this is what it is. It makes you feel depressed. You're going to compare yourself to others. This is everyone. This is life. These are the things, etc. So I want you to claim some time and find that time and decide what it is that you want to put your energy in, especially this week. And then in the next little bit, as we're in this challenge, right? What do you want to waste your time on? You're giving something. YouTube counts, Pinterest counts, Instagram. Everyone thinks it's Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, how much time do you surf on YouTube? Like, oh my God, I love videos and I watch all this. Are you implementing any of it? If you're not, just file it on the bookshelf, because everything is that domino effect, right? It falls down. So that's the first thing you're going to do. I want you to figure out what you're going to waste your time on. And once again, step one to finding more time is a giant brain dump. I will say this until my last breath. Dump everything from your head to a piece of paper. Every single thing on your to-do list, on your mind, waste of time, doesn't matter what it is. And then we're going to pull things out from that list. So brain dump all the waste of times that you're doing, everything. And then put an asterisk beside it if it's something you think that you can fix or solve or delegate, eliminate, something that's going to give you some more time. Because people tell me all the time, I have no time to work out. Like, I guarantee you, if I take your phone and I look at your tracking, you have plenty of time to work out. There are a handful of people, and if you disagree, we can debate back and forth, because I love a good debate. I will never claim that I know everything. I will never claim that I'm right, and I will never say that I have all the answers. But I will definitely give you my reasons, and you will give me your reasons. You have time. You're just not scheduling it properly. And you have to do this every single day. So I'm going to give you an example. And this is what I coach to all my clients. Make a massive brain dump. So I have a brain dump. I have a book. This is the book that every day I label it brain dump today. I put the date. And anything that's on my head, doesn't matter if it's like, this person was a jerk and why was I like this today? I just put everything in my head. Like, that driver was a boo-boo face. Like, I put anything. Then what I do is I pick out anything, because it's always things to do, get milk, oh my gosh, cancel that, all these different things. Then I put a star on it for what's going to come tomorrow. So my tomorrow reminder is review your brain dump, your to-do master list. So I have a master to-do list. That means all the things, like I have 100 projects that I want to launch this year. Can I do any of them? No, I have to do a few of them. You can do some things. I have the quote right there. It says, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. I shared that in the group today. That's right. If you look in my office, it's right on my board, because I want to do everything. And I can do anything, I know, but I can't do it all. So I want you to pick out some things that are important. So step one, you can do this with your waste of times. You can brain dump your waste of time, because that's the actual task for today, right? So for our digital detox and finding more time. And then You're going to plan that. So what on your list, like your brain dump, what's the pattern? What do you see? What kinds of things, for example, that, you know, I don't look good in my jeans, I'm not feeling good, I really would feel better if I didn't have these roles, if I wasn't, God, if my clothes fit and I didn't have to spend more money, or I would really feel better if I turned Netflix off and Disney Plus off before bed, put my phone out of the room. You're going to see a little pattern, and you're probably going to repeat a lot of different things because your thoughts are repetitive. It's something like 80,000 thoughts are repetitive in a day. It's you wouldn't even think you have that many thoughts, but you do. And then I want you just to pick out the most important one or ones, depending on what your day is for tomorrow. You're going to put a star. And then what I do is I schedule them. I schedule them in a planner. I do digital and I do planners, and I actually schedule it. So tomorrow, I want to go to whatever. How does that fit into my schedule? I schedule my wants around everything else. And it doesn't always work out that way, but the majority of the time, you are in charge of your day. Do not let your day take charge of you, other people's schedules. My aunt was in the armed forces. I come from a background of a lot of people that were in the Army, and she always said to me from a young age, we have a saying in the Army, and I almost joined the Army. That was on my list. I always wanted to be in the Army since I was a kid. And she always said, piss poor planning on your part does not require an emergency on ours. That is their motto in the Army. Exactly. How many times people are like, oh my God, I need this. You're like, moron, that's your fault, not mine. It's not my emergency. And there's a way to say things pleasantly, to be nice. Like, you don't say you're a moron. You're like, listen, okay, so I won't be able to get to that today. Because other people's emergencies are not your anxieties and emergencies. Agree? You agree with that? Right? They make you feel like it is, and sometimes it is. We're not talking about this sometimes, but you know the people in your life that are constantly students and people, members. I know, I'm like, I know what this person's going to do. And I don't have a lot of people like that anymore in my business because I just weed them out. I'm like, this isn't the place for you. Like, bye-bye. Very politely. I don't think this works for you because it's not healthy for my environment, for me, and it's not healthy for them. They need to fix themselves and not make it on you. So you will find more time just from that. So I want you to think about, like, maybe with that list, what's keeping you up at night? What on that list you're like, oh gosh, I need to do this. I've been saying this for 5 years, I'm going to do this, and I still haven't done it. Like, does anybody have a goal or a dream or something they just really want to do, but you put it on the back burner? Anyone? Does anyone want to go like this and tell me, do you have something that you said you're going to do, you didn't do it, you didn't follow through, you really want to do it, you feel like a failure, you're maybe scared to do it because you're like, well, I don't even know if I can do it. Is there something? Just go like this if you've been there. Like, wave your hands. Okay. Does anybody want to share anything? Like, do you want to say there's something that you want to do? Do you want to share what it is? Does someone want to mute themselves and say, I want someone to share?
Sure, I can share. Mine's business related. I've been wanting to create a website for my business. I sell SVGs, and I've taken 3 courses, and I'm trying to figure it all out, and it's just still sitting there. I'm like, yep, I'll get to it tonight, and then I just go to sleep, or okay, I'll get up early and do it tomorrow, and I just don't. And so I think it would take my business to the next level, and I just can't.
100% it will. So number one, I'm going to give you this example because I have learned this over 20 years in business. And this was said to me years ago because I had a very different mindset because I like to do everything. Number one, first, could you hire someone to do it, Heather? Could you find someone that's reasonably priced? Could you find something that's in your budget? Of course, that's a very important question. Do you think you could? She's saying yes. Okay. So I want you to think of this. This can apply with anything. This piece of hair is driving me nuts. I'm sorry. So this is what I was given, and this is the best advice that I have for you. What is it going to cost me time to do A, B, and C? This can be cleaning your house, shoveling the snow, mowing the lawn. This can be absolutely anything in your life. It doesn't have to be business, just like Heather. This is how we find more time. So I ask myself, it's going to take me 5 hours to do A, B, and C. And you're going to give yourself an hourly rate because you don't value yourself the same way that you would at work. Like, you're not going to go to work and you're going to say, I'm going to take $5 an hour. I'm going to just like work so hard and I'm going to crush this out. And you just give me $5. In fact, you know what? Don't even pay me. It's fine. But we do that in our personal life. We do that in our business life because we think we don't have money. You know how many people would build a website for reasonably cheap and a very good price? Like, some people, I had mine designed. I remember, I think it was like $800 the first time I had it done. I can't even remember if it was you, Denise. Someone told me long time ago. It was less than that. And I had a lot of content, Heather. So I had tons of stuff, blogs and all that stuff. Then it was like a revamp. And then I found someone, it was like $5-6 grand. Like, there's people everywhere in between. You just have to find those people. So I would say to you, and Heather specifically, because this is your example, can you delegate this to get it faster? Because how much money are you losing not getting that website up, not doing that thing? How much sanity are you losing not doing that stuff? You're going to bed at night, tired, exhausted. Could you hire someone to come over? And I know we're in COVID and all that, but maybe you have a friend, a family member, someone who's close to you that could help and be like, listen, I need you to cut up all my veggies for the week. And I'll make you a meal or something. You can barter. That is how you find more time. Okay. I want you to look into that, Heather, because that's something I know because you've spoken to me about stuff, and I want you to get on that. That is very, very important. Ladies, you have to find more time by what you're wasting time on. So take a look at your phone. I'm sure many of you track your screen time now. I don't think you like to be honest with yourself and say how much time you spent. I am the kind of person, I have, since I worked in a law office, I did this way before, I docket my time. Do you know what that means? Like, if you've ever been in office, you docket your time. So as soon as I sit down, I will say, like, here's an example for today. And you don't have to do this every day. I like this because I'm real and I'm honest with myself. And then I'm like, what? So this morning, I'll do like 11:37 to 11:57, plan my class. 11, like, you don't have to be that specific, but even if you did this for 3 days straight and you just put travel to work, like, you can say it in your phone, 11:57 to whatever, travel to work, go get a coffee. This person wasted my time, because you'll see where your time is going. Until you know where your time is truly going, you can't get the time back. And you know what? You cannot put a price on time. You cannot. How valuable is it for you to do that task or that project? Okay. So, and I know it's difficult to ask for help. I know that. And believe me, I think I did a post about this. I had such a hard time. I was the worst person asking for help. And now I was forced into it. I've been doing it for years, but I was really forced into it. And once it was done, I was like, why in the heck did I do that to myself? Why? Because we think we're so important and we think that we're putting a big burden on other people, but we're probably annoying people. Because, you know, when someone's like, well, how can I help? How can I do something? Like, no, sit down. You're like, I really want to help you. Like, what can I do? Most people genuinely want to help you, especially when you're not constantly taking advantage of it. Like, we know the difference between, like, you can manipulate anyone if you want to. You're a woman. You can manipulate anyone into anything ever. Am I right? Right? So I want you to think about those things, and I want you to schedule, just like I said last night. I'm going to give you the same takeaway. I want you to schedule your top 3. So, like tomorrow coming up, day 3 is fitness. Take the stairs. If you're in your house, I'm just going to climb my stairs up and down. And I've already set like 30 times. I'm just going to do that 30 times, up and down in a row. That's what I'm going to do because I'm working from home right now. You're going to add a new veggie. That they want to share with someone. Like, go get some rapini. Oh my God, I didn't know rapini until I was with my husband. because it's an Italian thing. I was like, what is this rapini stuff? Does anyone else not know what rapini is? I didn't. And radicchio, I'm like, what is that stuff? I don't know what that is. Now I'm like, oh my God, where has this been all my life? So add a new veggie and then sit in silence. And I think I said 5 to 20 minutes. I actually put that out there and I was like, oh, I'm scared to say 20 minutes. But then I was like, but there's some people that can do it. My therapist gave me this about 2 months ago. And I've done this before, but she explained all the science behind it. She said, get a candle, light it, and just stare at it. That's it. Stare at the candle for as long as you can. Just set a timer, but don't look at the timer if you want, or look at the time and just stare at the candle. It was a game changer for me. A lot of things are going to come up for you. So just sit in silence or put some quiet music on if you need to, whatever you need to do to get through this. But I want you to schedule your top 3. They're already scheduled for you on this sheet, but if you can, schedule them for yourself, okay? So you're getting in charge of your time sucking. Okay, let me see. Does anybody have any questions? Anything that I can clarify? Anything you want to ask? Now is the time. Yep, go ahead, Eleni. You can unmute yourself. I don't know. I asked to unmute you.
Hi. I'm still a little confused. I thought I've signed everything and I don't think I got an email for tonight's class.
I don't remember your stuff coming in. Did you fill out the new member forms?
Yeah. I got an email from you saying everything is set the first day that, it was actually the second day that you,
Okay, let me look that up for you.
Okay.
Actually, Laura and Denise, can you check right now?
I'll try and pull her into the class. And
see what happens. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do it right now, literally in real time, so that I know that you are. Any other questions, comments, feedback, something you need to get off your heart, something you need to show? Oh, and make sure, for those of you that have been emailing, because it was hard to get back to everybody, I had, honest to God, 115 messages between Facebook and Instagram and all that. So for those of you asking for the recording playbacks, like say you can't make, and by the way, tomorrow morning's class at 6:15 a.m. is also included, but it doesn't say that in the email. If you miss anything, for like $13.99, you get all the replays and the whole membership site. You only get it until Monday, but you get access to that. So that is in your inbox if you want that. If you're the kind of person that is not in classes right now and you can't for some reason make tomorrow morning or tonight or Saturday, it will all be there for you, okay? So can you help a mama out and say, yeah, just a second here. I can totally do that. Okay, so this is a message for all the kids here, Riley, and so it's Taylor, not Kayla. That's my daughter's name. Oh my God, my daughter's name is Taylor. So listen, if you have kids, Riley and Taylor, I wanted to call her Kayla. Your mama needs some time, some quiet time tomorrow, and so do you. So if you could think of something fun that you can do for yourself, Riley and Taylor, like something that you think is fun. You can maybe sit down, paint or color, or write down some special little symbols or colors that speak to you so that mommy can have some time to do her homework. And any of your children, teach them this. Teach your children that they need alone time. They need quiet time. Mommy needs alone time. That is very important. Teach the people that live in your house. I would say to the kids, mommy's walking away now because mommy's feeling a little frustrated. So we're going to have a little bit of time apart. And my kids are now 13, 15, and 17. Like I got this mom thing. I'm momming hard. And it ain't any easier with the kids older. God, I thought it was going to be a little easier, but it is not. So you have to teach them. I say, they came up to me 100 times today in my office. I said, mommy's working right now. What can you do? Can you write that question down? I know when kids are little, you give them different tactics, okay? So I wanna hear what Riley and Taylor did. So this is really important, Natasha. I want you to tell me when we meet on Thursday, I wanna hear what they did, okay? So ladies, are you excited? Are you ready to get on this? We're gonna sign off to be respectful for the time. Is there any other questions that you have or want? You're clear about what you need to do tomorrow, what you need to do. You're gonna do your waste of time. You're gonna think of something, and kids can do this. What do we waste time on? You know, what would you like to spend more time on? My daughter, my 15-year-old, I encourage my kids always to do counseling. It's like working out, taking a shower. And my 15-year-old daughter she had counseling today. She does it online, and she came up with a list with her counselor of a bunch of things that inspire her, that are fun, things that she could do, make bracelets, you know, ask people for recipes, like little things, like a whole bunch of things. And I thought, things that give you joy, I need to make a list like that as a grown-up, because we forget. Like, how many things do you do every day that bring you joy? Not a lot all the time, right? Like, I work out and that gives me joy. I was like, you know what? I need to have a dance party. I need to do things that just bring me, like, you know, they make you smile and you're like, whoa, that felt so nice. And you're just so happy. Make a joy list. Instead of your waste of time, what would you instead of being on someone's social media feed, what would you rather do? Yeah? All right. So we're going to close out. The next meeting, just a reminder, will be tomorrow. You're flying solo. Check your inbox because you're going to work on your top 3. And we're going to be live after boot camp. So there is a free class with me on Thursday night, and then we will meet right after. Okay? I will give you all the details.